Okay, everyone. So we are recording here. It is Tuesday, October 28th. Game three of the World Series is in. Freddie Freeman walked off in the 18th inning. It essentially took two games to decide one game. And congratulations to Freddie Freeman on essentially being the walk-off king. He is the David Ortiz of this generation in regards to that, at least. Shohei Ohtani went 4 for 4. He had nine plate appearances and he got on all nine times. Who does this guy think he is? Darryl Strawberry in the Springfield softball game in the episode of The Simpsons, Homer at the bat? Like, come on, get your things straight here, people. Hold on one second. Okay, just had to push that in. But I do not appreciate, but I do not like the fact that in the second inning, Bo Bichette was off the first base bag, and he believed it was ball four. It was definitely high. It could have been very easily been called a ball. It was far enough out of the strike zone, and it's also not. It wouldn't have been fair to the fielders too. The umpire behind the dish needed to make the call right from the get-go, and that did not happen. So here's the thing. I forget. I think it might have been Kirk who was at the plate. I don't quote me on that, but regardless, Bo Bichette was on his way down to second, thinking it was ball four. And let's say he does think it's ball four, and he goes there, and it's a trot along, and he trots along. And the Dodgers also think it's ball four because they're not alerted to that. But Glasnow picked him off at first. Freeman was there. Everyone was alert there, and thus what could have been when I don't think could have had a different outcome in that inning, and they could have and the Blue Jays could have won the game based on that one thing. And the momentum of those games too just really gets you down, which is why you've got to make these diamond dolls. Uh, a lot of back and forth going to, and a lot of close calls, people sliding into third, a pickoff of Shohei stealing, you know, Shohei was caught stealing, if you can believe it, that Kirk was able to throw him out in the later innings. It was very stressful, and I can't believe I'm rooting for the Blue Jays of all teams, given the fact that I'm an Orioles fan, but I don't like the Dodgers winning the World Series, even though I really do appreciate their stadium. It has been historic. Been it's 63 years old, the stadium, and they've modernized this stadium perfectly, and and it is on the cover of my audiobook, an audiobook on MLB stadiums for a reason. It has been historic. It has gone the distance, and and it really has just been one of those World Series too. Um, this stadium has seen World Series losses, it's seen World Series wins, and we don't know which one that they're going to get here. Um, I really think that this is probably going to be the closest World Series you're going to see in your lifetime. And now 18 innings. People are going to say that this is going to be one of the greatest games ever. All the stress of everything. I have to get phone out to look up things because it was two games they played essentially, two games, and I'm gonna do get my scores here. Box score summary. Okay, so Teoscar Hernandez opened it up in the bottom of the second. They get something on the board, 1-0. Shohei goes 2-0, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is going to be Oh, the Dodgers are going to win this one. And eventually they did, but, at least the Blue Jays gave hope. So Bo Bichette, yeah, top four, Bo Bichette reached on a fielding error, so they got a huge break there. Tommy Edman couldn't come up with it, and there was that. Vladimir Jr. went to third on the play. So Bichette reached there. Um, and Kirk delivered. It was 3-2. And and the problem is that Shohei showed up with a double on a fly ball, and then Hernandez scored. Or yeah, Hernandez scored. Yeah, after that, it was 4-3 at that point. Toronto had four, Elliott had three, and I'm thinking to myself, oh, this is going to be a long one too. And Freeman singled on a ground ball, and that scored Ohtani in the fifth. The seventh was interesting again. Bichette singled on a ground ball. Fielder Teoscar Hernandez. Guerrero scored. He was motoring. I'll tell you that he was motoring, and he just got in. And Shohei tied it up again. And it's like, I forgot who, and you can't leave fastballs down the center of the plate to this guy. He can reach, and I don't even recollect him striking out. I don't even remember the last time when he struck out. I'm sorry. And he's going to be on the mound for game four, and he didn't. And I don't remember him striking out, not striking out batters, but just being at the plate and striking out. I have no memory of that in these playoffs. I'm sorry. He probably did, but I don't have a memory of that. So Andres Jimenez singled on a line drive to fielder Enrique Hernandez. Miles Straw went to second on that. Ty France grounds out to third baseman Muncy. Freddie Freeman, Miles Straw, Andres Jimenez to second, 2 outs. Nathan Lutz ground out to pitcher, and that would do it. Um, I think they had the bases loaded at one point. Yeah, they did have the bases loaded in, forget which inning it was in. What inning it was in. Okay, let's see here. It should be, where is it? This is what happens. But I think it was like the 12th inning, if I'm not mistaken. The top of the 12th or something. Yeah, it was the top of the 12th. Nathan Lucas ground out to second base, Tommy Edman to had the bases loaded, and they couldn't get it. They could not deliver. I think if that's in the air, if he just puts it in the air and it's just drops down in like mid center field, obviously you're going to score a run. You might even get two out of it, depending on when the runners are moving. But I think that this game overall was probably one of the longest I've ever seen, in at least in terms of playoffs too. We don't even see 18 inning games anymore, and even with the pitch clock too, we're not supposed to see these games, and we still did. And honestly, looking on this now, as much as I wanted the Blue Jays to win this and have an American League team win the World Series again, it's been, not that long. I mean, the Rangers won it in 2023, but it's been a while, is what it feels like. And the Dodgers have dominated this. Shohei's playing in his second World Series ever. I think, let's see, it was, yeah, 2021, Freeman plays in his first, then 2024, Freeman plays in his second, that's his third. So it's Freeman's third and Betts' fourth World Series. And Kershaw, I think let's see, 17, 18, 24, and that would be Kershaw's fourth World Series that he played in as well. So a lot of legacy coming out here, and especially Scherzer, the fourth team, fourth, or he's the first player with four to pitch for four different teams, and he will go down as one of the best Hall of Famers to ever do it, along with Glasnow and Clayton Kershaw, who came on in, I believe, the 13th inning to relieve. And and boy, that was something. When the ending happened, I was not up. It was 3 o'clock in the morning on the East Coast, and I'm like thinking to myself, you can't be still be playing this game. I was not watching that. I was in bed. I could not keep my eyes open to save my life. I needed that rest, and I'm still feeling a little tired after this, being up at like 1 in the morning to see this. And this was the longest game ever, and it really did feel like that. Even though there's been documented games longer than this, it felt like it just there was going to be heartbreak in this one way or the other. And boy, if you are a fan of Toronto, you were heartbroken. Period. Um, Freeman walked off the solo shot, and I think it like he just gave everything he had to just get it just out over the center field wall, and it was just enough. And and if the Dodgers win, I'm not going to be heartbroken too. These are not any of the teams I necessarily wanted. I wanted Seattle to be in this, honestly, because they haven't reached the World Series. And baseball, like life, is filled with heartbreaks. And this is just one of the best games that there will ever be because of all the drama, because of all the back and forth. I mean, not since 1991 in Game 7 of the World Series, arguably one of the best World Series of all time. You know, yeah, the twin, I forgot who hit that ball, but it just took them. It seemed like that was going to go for a while too, because no one was getting on base. And when someone got on base, it was like, waving the rally towels and cheering when someone got on base, and it just put everyone into um, you know, a little bit of a frenzy too. And back then. And even though there was like no runs until there was a big hit, whether it was Freeman or the Twins walking it off with a single, it it just did enough. It was just enough at the time. And Freddie Freeman, if he retired today, he would be a Hall of Famer, personally. And I would like he should be in unanimously, and we don't even always have unanimous ballots. In fact, I think Rivera's still the only one with a unanimous ballot, and Ichiro Suzuki was not too. Very interesting on that. But I think that I would not be surprised if the Blue Jays won Game 4 tomorrow. I would not be surprised if the Dodgers won, but I'm telling you that I think the element of just being outside also did affect um, the play as well. The play style of the Dodgers and the Blue Jays, because sometimes the just being sealed off in at Rogers Center just makes a little bit of a difference, and the way the air travels, and you're not affected necessarily by any wind or anything like that, and that makes a difference. And it's a heated environment, it's controlled, it's just, you know and essentially you're on the next closest thing to grass. But also playing on natural grass too does affect the play, and it does get and it and depending on everything, it's it would be, it does affect how the ball bounces too. There is a slight difference too. It's science, and that's what I like about Dodger Stadium, is that there is a science to the bouncing of the ball on natural grass versus any artificial turf. But boy, I think as much as I want the Jays to win the World Series, will want to go to Dodger Stadium before I go to Rogers Center personally. And I would love nothing more than to see just a game at Dodger Stadium and have some ice cream too there. But that'll do it for this. What do you think of the World Series so far? I've been enjoying watching this. I am so happy that we're gonna see that 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 we are getting some of the best baseball we ever have. But yeah, if you like that, please check out my audiobooks, Growing Baseball, and an audiobook on MLB stadiums. And check out the baseball Substack. Links to all those will be in the description. Also, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Take care.